Hi everyone, today I have a Farish. I'm going to talk to him about AI startup. He works for a Google and he works at Google India. So I'm just going to talk about the AI ecosystem, startup ecosystem, how does it work. So today we are at Google I/O. So how do you feel, Farish, here?
I mean, it's exciting. There's a lot of developers and startups, and there are a lot of startups from India also attending this time. So it's exciting to see like everyone meeting, different teams and product teams, experiencing the demos. A lot of exciting announcements. So it's an exciting time to be here. Yeah.
Absolutely. And today climate is much better than yesterday. And what do you like most about announcements?
Oh, I have my favorites, but I think one thing, if you ask me to pick, is the announcements around the AI Studio. The fact that you can build native Android apps, vibe coding all within AI Studio and then deploy it, to Google Play directly. I think that changed everything, right? I mean, you're able to do the web app. I mean, using AI Studio. I think now you can do the same thing for Android apps. I think that'll change everything, and probably we'll see more, apps coming on the Play Store, but also more startups building new products faster than ever before. Yeah,
definitely 100%. So after this session, I'm going to go to a sandbox and work on Omni, and I'm going to check it out. How does it work, especially for the video?
Absolutely.
Yeah, so I have a quick question for you. So you have worked closely with AI startups at scale through Google for Startups Accelerator program. So what separates the startup that actually build durable AI businesses from the ones that are just riding the hype cycle right now?
Regardless of whether they're using AI or not, I think any startups who's build a durable startups, I mean, the business is the one solving the real world problem and adding value proposition to their customers and the stakeholders they work with. So as long as you are solving the problem that is faced by people or businesses and making an impact, I think that's a nutshell of building a great business, right? And the same goes for the AI companies as well. I mean, whether you are a vibe coded application that is making revenue, or a startup that has been sort of building AI applications which is making revenue. So at the end, as long as you're solving a core problem and that is being used by people and businesses and helping them to solve problems, I think you're going to sort of, I think that startups is going to sustain for a while. And I think it's also important to, in the current era, where you're seeing the changes in the technology faster and than ever before, and it's important to keep innovating and then making sure that your product is still relevant in the market. So I think that's what entrepreneurs do, right?
Right, absolutely. So I'll take you back a little bit to the tech side here. I have just attended one session at AI Stage. It was by Logan and Varun were there. They both were there. And they were talking about there are a couple of bottlenecks. One where you know your use case and you are building the product. Another one where you are building your product and you are thinking how are you going to scale up, right? So what do you think about this whole narrative? So what do you think? Where are we going right now in terms of scaffolding, harnessing? What do you think about it?
I mean, if you look at the AI startup landscape, I mean, startups are building products faster than ever before thanks to all this advanced, AI models and agentic platform. I think the tiny teams the startups are making a business that makes millions of dollars, and the ARR is hitting 100 millions, etc. With a tiny team. So I think that's similar to how we used to look at a unicorn. I think I think the people are looking at who is making more ARR with a smaller team. So I think that's becoming a thing. It's what I personally feel. So and in that context, I think you're seeing a lot of AI-based applications coming in, especially from India. If I can speak about India just specifically, you see a lot of AI-based applications coming in from India, which is solving real world problem, but at the end, you also have to, as I said before, you have to make sure that what you're sort of building is solving a problem. And then I think number one problem that a lot of these startups are facing is, as you rightly mentioned the question, how do you scale it after you reach a certain point? That's where we are also trying to support. Through Google's program, we've been, just to take an example, we recently ran this program called Google Market Access Program. We took some of the top AI companies from India, to this program. They went through some boot camps and India GTM support, and then we took them to US, Silicon Valley here, for a US market immersion. So the idea is to sort of get them and give them an exposure to the enterprises and VCs here, so that they can start growing into the other market. I think just to summarize it, startups always have to look at different ways to grow it and quickly sort of grow in the other markets. When they reach that stage of the growth, and keep innovating. I think it's important to sort of keep innovating, solving problem that is core to what they sort of initially solving for.
Absolutely. Incredible, because I completely get where you are saying. Now the companies are growing smaller, and who's making AI easier is going to win definitely.
Yeah.
And 27 would be a lot of change, because last 6 months we have seen that change drastically ever since Claude has launched a lot of plugins, and I'm sure there will be a lot of new changes coming up. So I have a quick question here. You have seen both the developer ecosystem and startup ecosystem deeply, right? So across India and Southeast Asia, over the next 3 to 5 years, what kind of AI native startups do you think will quietly become massive?
Interesting. I think it's very hard to. First of all, developers and startups. I think that segment of users is overlapping. I think there's something. In Google also we are seeing this builders audience coming up. You are not necessarily developer but a developer who knows a deep program language or computer science experience, etc. But then you are someone who always want to build something, right? And these are builders, and they're not necessarily sort of have a technical knowledge, but they know how to use tools and and technologies. So they're sort of leveraging a lot of these new agentic coding platform like Anti-Gravity, AI Studio, and a bunch of others as well, right? And then same for startups as well. I think that we are seeing that the builders persona coming as a merge together with the developers and startups. So I don't think we can separate those audience anymore. So, but just coming to your point, these startups are. I think we are going to see it's very hard to predict what which area is going to see most of the application. But I think based on the trends that we are seeing, we've seen the startups building applications around legal tech, education, healthcare are coming up a lot. Especially the areas like legal there is a lot you can sort of do with AI that helps people save time, and then probably build agents around these spaces that help people who are working on the legal space to manage these agents, and then work with agents to be more productive, and then use that time to sort of do more great things instead of just just probably going through the contract and reviewing it, etc. We have seen startups like that. Just to take an example, one of our startups from Accelerator, Spot Draft, is doing exactly that. They're sort of helping businesses to do the contract management using AI. So, and there are startups like Entry, which is helping individuals to upskill themselves using AI. So we are going to see a lot of those applications for sure. I think one of the things that we are also seeing startups who are not AI native, but who's been building great product, has a very strong user base. Using AI to fuel the next phase of the growth. This, especially the startups in the education, healthcare spaces. I think we are going to see that a lot. Startups shifting towards finding a meaningful use cases that help them to sort of drive the next phase of the growth, and which creates the value for the users as well. So that's going to happen a lot, is what I'm seeing. That's a trend that you're seeing in the SaaS space, right? A lot of the SaaS companies our startups are shifting towards building AI based products or pivoting towards that. So I think that we are going to see it in the non-AI application or B2C companies as well, is what
absolutely. And also Google AI has recently announced agentic coding, so that will definitely help. And I'm looking forward how Spark and Omna are going to change that one. And so I have a quick question here. So what do you think about software development here, right? So for example, software engineers are writing Fibonacci code to, they are just building the product and everything. So what do you think that whole change will happen in a couple of years, considering a lot of startups are coming up, right? And even if you just, right now we are sitting in Silicon Valley, but I'm sure back in India, there are a lot of companies, startups, they are coming up with innovative ideas. As you said, there are clinical studies AI agents are making. For example, finances, legal perspective. So what do you think about whole this narrative for the next 2 years?
I think any other space, probably the software development is the one area which will have a very big impact. The positive. I would like to see it as a positive impact because of AI, you will see some of the. I mean, again, this is my personal opinion. You will see a lot of those roles getting overlap and merged. Whether you're a product manager, designer, and developer, and you will see that one person doing all that because thanks to some of these advanced tools, like as you might have seen yesterday's announcement, like at the IO, you can directly import the snitch design to anti-gravity directly. So you design something on snitch and then import into anti-gravity and then start building that that on the anti-gravity and then publish it on Google Cloud. So boom, you are there. I mean, so this was done by like 3-4 people before. So you will see that I think developers will, is trying to do the combination of all those roles together. Product management, design, and then software engineering, all that together. Like, I mean, that's going to happen a lot, and that this also means that they're going to be more productive. So there's going to be sort of probably more focus on the building the great product than just spending a lot of time on building it. Coding. So. So it's going to be an exciting time. This is very hard to predict, but these changes are fast enough to see. You're going to see those mergers happening within the roles. Eventually.
100% agree here. So, do you think India has enough infrastructure, talent, product thinking today to create globally dominant AI companies, or are we still too service-based, service-focused mindset?
I think I do. What the government is doing, with the India AI mission, what they're trying to do with the support the startups to build sovereign models for India, the infra they're giving, TPU and GPU access they're giving to the startups. That's a great example of how government can support the startups building India's own foundational models or sovereign model. That's on the infra side, but also you'll see companies like Google also stepping in, and we are sort of closely working with the startup, the government and the whole ecosystem to make sure that we are able to support the startups in whatever way we can, and help them to grow and beyond India as well, build in India but grow scale globally. So that's what we are trying to do with our accelerator and other programs that we are doing. But I do feel that we have the talent. I think application-wise, we have a very strong base where you see a lot of these applications coming out. I think adoption is also there, but I think the question is about how do you scale beyond that. I think that's where probably the whole ecosystem has to work together to see how we can support each other to see help some of these products to sort of scale beyond India as well.
Right. Absolutely. And I'm sure launches announced at Google I/O will definitely help India to build better product. And thank you so much.
No, thank you, and looking forward to what people are going to build, and excited to see what they're going to build, and then and see how we can support from Google. Either we are a startups or developer, whoever is watching this, please check out our programs, and happy to connect and
Absolutely. Thank you so much, Farish. It was great chatting with you. Thank you guys for watching Latency and Latte. Thank you so much.
It was a good one.